reminder on why the Explorer is so important and why not just memorizing something for clinic and truly studying is important, because it literally is our career. Let's talk about staging and grading. Okay, so let's get something straight. Stage and grading is for periodontal patients, people with bone loss. Okay, mostly this is for me so that I can get it in my freaking head because I made a mistake, and that's okay. We're learning. This is an experience. This is why we go to school. Staging. The staging part of this is based on the severity and complexity. Severity meaning the CAL, the probe and the gingival margin measurement, radiographic bone loss, and tooth loss is severity. Complexity is local issue, like the type of bone loss, horizontal or vertical, the probe depths, anything more than a 4, furcations, mobility, the amount of teeth left, and any dysfunctions like masticatory issues or occlusal issues. Grading is the progression over the years, specifically 5 years. It's the amount of radiographic bone loss, or the CAL, based on age, based on biofilm, based on phenotype, based on how many times they smoke tobacco, and then the other thing is diabetic. How well is their HbA1c handled? What is the complexity of that? What is the risk factor that they have? So grading is progression and risk factors. For staging, interdental CAL, if there is 1 to 2 millimeters. Bone loss, there's going to be bone loss at the coronal third. Right here, the coronal third. You're mostly gonna see it in the PDL area. And for stage 1, there should be no other tooth loss. Now the complexity, because we just talked about severity, the complexity is going to be a max probing depth of less than 4 millimeters. Mostly horizontal bone loss, straight across. Stage 2, the severity is going to be a interdental reading of CAL of 3 to 4 millimeters. Radiographic bone loss is going to be 15 to 33%. Coronal 1/3. Do you see that coronal area right here? That's about 15 to 33%. And no tooth loss. The maximum probing depth is less than or equal to 5 millimeters and still mostly horizontal bone loss. Stage 3, you're going to get greater than or equal to 5 millimeters reading for the interdental CAL. For stage 3, that bone loss radiographically is going to be on that middle third root and extending apically. They have about 4 or less teeth missing. The probe depths would be greater than or equal to 6 millimeters. They'll have vertical bone loss of about 3 millimeters or more. There might be furcation involvement of class 2 or 3, and they might have moderate ridge defects. This says vertical bone loss. However, this is horizontal. So it's just the factors in each stage. Like if they have more of this than this and this, they have this. Because this is extending beyond the root of the middle third of the root. The probe depth is about 6 millimeters or more. They're starting to get furcation involvement right there, but they don't have any bone loss, no tooth loss. Stage 4, it's going to get an interdental CAL reading of greater than or equal to 5 millimeters. It extends to the middle third of the root for the radiographic bone loss. They might be missing more than 5 teeth, have masticatory issues, occlusal issues, severe ridge defects, bite collapsing, drifting or flaring in the teeth, might be gone with the wind. A lot of factors. Extending apical past the middle third of the root. And like this person's missing a lot of teeth. And remember, it's because of periodontitis, not because they are missing a tooth because they had it extracted because it needed a root canal. Now we're on to grading. The big thing here is smoking and diabetes. And then the amount of time that they've had the radiographic bone loss, their age and depending on the biofilm. Grade A, there's not a lot of loss over the past 5 years. Here's an example of a grade A. This person is 45 years old. They have a 1 to 2. They've had no additional bone loss. They're not a smoker and there's no history of diabetes. But remember stage 1, they have 1 to 2. Their probing depths are over 4 millimeters and there's horizontal bone loss. Grade B, they have less than 2 millimeters over the past 5 years of radiographic bone loss, or CAL. You take this bone loss divided by their age. Then the amount of biofilm deposits, they smoke less than 10 cigarettes a day and their HbA1c is less than 7. This person is 50 years of age. They have less than 2 millimeters of attachment loss. They're non-smoker and non-history of diabetes. But they're in this range right here. Grade C, they have more than 2 millimeters of radiographic bone loss, or CAL. Their bone loss divided by age percentage is greater than a 1. Destruction exceeds expectations given biofilm deposits. Specific clinical patterns, suggestions of period of rapid progression and early onset disease. They have more than 10 cigarettes a day and their HbA1c is greater than a 7. They have more than 2 millimeters of attachment loss over a 5-year period. The tissue destruction exceeds expectations. They smoke a pack of cigarettes or 20 or more a day, and they are 28 years old. 28 and a grade C. Anyways, guys, I hope that helped and helped it make a little bit more sense visually and auditorily. Good luck studying, and I'll see you later. Bye.